600 years, most empires don't last 60. What did the Ottomans know that everyone else missed? It wasn't armies, it wasn't geography. It was a system so precise, it almost felt inhuman. It began with a radical idea. Take children, not just any children. The brightest, the strongest, from conquered lands. Remove them from everything they know. Family, identity, past. Rebuild them. This was the Devshirme System. These boys were not enslaved in the usual sense. They were selected, educated, trained at the highest level. But training was not just learning. It was transformation. They were placed with families first. Not to rest, to absorb. Language, customs, obedience. Then came the real shaping. Strict routines, controlled environments, no room for distraction. They woke early, worked hard, studied longer. Some were sent to the palace schools, the most promising ones. There everything was sharpened. Mind, body, discipline. They learned how to command, how to think, how to wait. Others became janissaries, soldiers without pasts, without divided loyalties. They marched together, ate together, fought together. No family, no inheritance, no alternative identity. Only the state, and that was the genius. Because loyalty built from fear fades. Loyalty built from habit breaks. But loyalty built from identity endures. These boys didn't serve the empire. They were the empire. A system that erased origins and replaced them with purpose. Cold, precise, unmatched. But loyalty alone doesn't hold an empire. You need something else, something colder. Land, the Timar System. Land was not owned. It was assigned. Not as a gift, as a contract. Imagine this. You are given land, not because you deserve it, because you agreed to bleed for it. Fail to show up when called, and it disappears. No negotiation, no delay. Someone else gets it tomorrow, and when it worked beautifully. Villages stayed productive, fields stayed cultivated, soldiers stayed prepared. The state didn't need to chase resources. The resources came to it. Order without constant force, but when it failed quietly. A local holder grows comfortable, stops sending full troops, keeps more for himself. At first, no one notices. Then others follow. Land stops rotating. Power starts settling. Tax collection becomes personal, not imperial. And suddenly, you don't have servants of the state. You have owners, mini rulers, thinking long term. Thinking legacy, exactly what the system was built to prevent. But there was one more weapon, the most invisible one. No one stayed powerful for too long. Officials were moved, reassigned, replaced, before they could build alliances, before they could become threats. Most systems reward loyalty with permanence. The Ottomans did the opposite, and they rewarded performance with uncertainty, calculated pressure. Because when you know your position is temporary, you behave differently. You act faster, decide quicker, serve more carefully. There is no time to get comfortable, no time to build a personal empire. And beneath it all, there was something else. Fear. Not loud fear, not chaos. Quiet fear. The kind that sits in the back of your mind. You could rise quickly, but you could fall just as fast. A mistake, a rumor, a shift in favor, and you're gone. So officials stayed sharp, alert, cautious. They didn't trust permanence because permanence didn't exist. And that kept the system alive. Not love, not loyalty alone, but pressure. Constant. Invisible, effective. But systems like this carry a hidden cost. They require constant discipline. And discipline fades. Over time, the Devshirme system weakened. Families began to influence selections. Bribes entered quietly. Standards slipped. Positions became inherited. The Janissaries, once the most disciplined force, started acting like a privileged class. They married, built businesses, refused campaigns. They no longer wanted to fight. They wanted to protect what they had. And when reform came, they resisted. Violently, they revolted in the streets, toppled officials, forced decisions. Even sultans felt their pressure. At one point, they decided who ruled. Not the sultan, them. The protectors had become the threat. The very force designed to protect the state began controlling it. The Timar system also eroded. Land assignments became permanent, records blurred, enforcement weakened, local power holders stopped rotating. They rooted themselves, built influence, built alliances, passed power down. Exactly what the system was designed to prevent started happening. And the rotating elite? Rotation slowed, then stopped. Positions lingered. Years turned into decades. Officials stayed longer, built networks, formed factions. And once that happens, merit fades. Because when power stays, it protects itself. Not the system. The machine was no longer moving. It was settling. And when a system built on movement stops, it decays. Slowly, silently. The way all great things end. Here is the paradox. The system that made them powerful required them to fight human nature every single day, and one day they stopped fighting. That was enough. The Ottoman Empire didn't fall because it was weak. It fell because it became comfortable, and comfort is how every great system dies. So the real question is, what are you comfortable with that's slowly killing your empire?